Hey everybody, it's Will.
And this is Thomas.
And we're back at the virtual spinner rack once again, like we do every week right here on OK Boomer. This week we are going to take a look at Superman Volume 1, Issue 199, the very first race between Superman and the Flash. But before we do that, let's give a big shout out to our sponsor for this video, SpinWiz Comics at spinwizcomics.com. They are a webcomic and indie comic discovery platform. So in case you didn't know, now you know. You can download the app for free on Android and iOS. And once you log in, it is completely free to read just about every comic on the app. That's right, I said free comics. Check it out for yourself, SpinWiz Comics at spinwizcomics.com. Download the app. Give them a nice 5-star review. We're trying to get up to 100 downloads and 100 5-star reviews by the end of the month. Plus, don't forget about their loyalty reward program. Every page of comics you read gets you an entry into the contest for monthly, quarterly, and yearly giveaways. SpinWiz Comics at spinwizcomics.com. Go check it out for yourself. And now, on with the program. And away we go.
Yeah, I had to look it up a while ago. I couldn't remember. This is the first Superman Flash race, like we just told everybody. And I could not remember when the second was, but they do allude to it at the end of this issue. It's actually in Flash 175.
Is it?
Same year. Yeah, it's this was August, apparently, August of 67, and that one's in Flash 175 is in December of 67. So they definitely planned them back to back.
Well, it's about time we dove into another book that's older than me.
Oh, is that what it is?
I'm like, ooh, 67, nice. I was like not even thought of for a couple of years. Great.
Well, what's funny is we read these. We've been doing a lot. We did all the Fantastic Four, 47, 48. Those are 66, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. And you read this, and it's just. This is a great book, man, but it's shocking to me how different Marvel and DC really are at this time period. They're not even remotely close as far as the writing and the art, anything. It's just kind of crazy.
Well, I was talking with my guest last night on Creators Outlet. Man, that went for 3 hours last night. Oh, my God.
What was it, a marathon?
Yeah, it was just two old guys talking. It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was almost like an episode of Boomer.
With two old guys talking.
But yeah, he was talking, and he was saying that DC has the best superheroes, but Marvel has the more realistic superheroes. They try to draw all their books realistic, and DC's more fanciful.
Yes, more stylized, definitely.
Yeah, but it's DC's like more cartoony, and Marvel's more realistic. Like a good portion of all Marvel heroes are all just hanging around in New York. I'm like, how are you guys not in everybody else's book every month?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the thing. You had all the crossovers back then, and I know the crossovers started first in DC way back in, I think it's The World's Finest is the first big crossover I can think of. And but the DC books they're more fanciful, they're more kid friendly, they're more how superheroes should be. And you go to the Marvel, and you're right, they are more realistic. Everybody's got problems. That's why Peter Parker took off so big. Jesus, he's got to worry about getting, decrepit old Aunt May damn medicine again. And, he can't afford to pay for his rent and everything else where, and DC and Superman never has to worry about that, neither does
well, except for Aunt May in the new Spider-Man movies where she's #MILF.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. She keeps getting younger and hotter. What in the hell?
Iron Man wants to give her retro rockets, but we'll see.
Retro rockets.
But no, there is no more Iron Man. That's right.
Yeah, he has left us. We're gonna get oh Jesus, what's
Riri Williams.
not Riri, what's when oh I
Come
can't
on,
remember
Marvel.
now.
Come on, Marvel guy. War Machine.
No, not War Machine. I think Pepper. What's Pepper become? Rescue agents or some crap like that.
Oh yeah, it's Pepper and the Rescue Rangers or something.
Yeah. I don't read a whole lot of Iron Man. The only Iron Man comics I read are usually when he's getting his ass kicked. I have no idea why, but we're just going to go there. I've got a whole slew of them, but he always gets his butt kicked.
Yeah, I read a whole bunch of them. My favorite Iron Man costume was like the red and white one, when he had like the white upside down triangle on the chest.
Yep, I know which one you're talking about.
I think that was one of the last suits that Bob Layton designed.
It may have been. That was a long time ago.
But I mean, the last thing that I collected of Iron Man with any love, like as a new comic coming off the shelf, I think was the first Armor Wars.
Holy crap, that is a long time ago.
See, I told you I'm freaking old.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of old, that is not your screen blurry if you are watching. This is the only digital PDF copy I could find of this book, and we did discuss it in the previews. It is perfectly readable, but it has been loved much for a long time. And this is not a remastered book.
This probably I called my uncle, because I've only got like one uncle that's still living, and the rest of the guys I call uncle are just like cousins that are like 30 or 40 years older than me.
Exactly.
And my mother made me call him uncle. But I was talking to my Uncle Jimmy. He's my dad's youngest brother, and he's the only one left alive. And we of course he's talking about comics because he caught an episode of Creators Outlet on Facebook like weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, that was pretty good. Yeah, you're doing okay. I go, okay. But he got to talking about comics and stuff he collected, and the back in like the 30s and 40s, the old Palooka Joe comic strip.
Yep.
They were friends with the family of the guy who created that.
Really?
Yeah. He's passed on now, of course, but yeah, and I believe that old strip was bought by Bazooka Gum, so they could mimic Palooka Joe and change his name to Bazooka Joe for the little like comic strips they would put inside the Bazooka Gum.
Yeah.
So while you were chewing that like big flat square of sugar in your mouth, you could until it got soft enough with your spit so you could move your jaw again. You had like a little comic to read, and they always had like some weird like 50s or 60s like toy mail away offer on them, and
yep. Get the X-ray glasses.
Yeah, but my uncle used to. He loved comics. He would read like the old detective crime books, the original Mad magazines, and all that stuff. And this was back, and this is why this book looks so loved. Is it would these would get rolled up in the back of your pants pocket. You'd hop on your bike and you'd ride down the street to your buddy's house and you'd swap books.
Yeah, you'd trade them, do all that. I mean, but then that's one of the things people don't understand about. I mean, I put a thing in one of the groups the other day. I can't remember. I was reading a copy of Daredevil Chronicles. Okay. and it's a fanzine from the mid to early 80s. Okay, and it basically it's an entire breakdown of Daredevil comics from Marvel. Okay, and it talks about Daredevil issues and the writers. It's got interviews. There's a huge interview in it with Frank Miller that I've got to sit down and read. Talks about all his plans for Elektra and everything. And this is coming out essentially at the same time that Miller is doing Daredevil. So this is like, you read it, it's contemporaneous at the time. And they also show there's a scene at the back, and it's Daredevil and Daredevil. The Marvel Daredevil from 64 and the original blue and red Daredevil from like 40 something, 42, 43. You know what I'm talking about, right? Daredevil with the boomerang.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they talk about publication, and it says in there that Daredevil, the original 40s comic, had a monthly publication of, it says like 6 million copies, which sounds incredible. But I know that some of these old books they did millions of copies of them a piece. And even if you think at 10 cents, that's a lot of money. But that's how many of them didn't survive. Nobody thought these books were going to be collectible, and that's why so many of them look like this. Thank God, I was showing you earlier. Mine doesn't look quite as bad as this one.
Oh, yours looks pretty good.
But yeah, dude, they just whoever had this one really loved it, and that's why it's a classic.
Yeah, I'm just blasting out a live stream on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
We can hopefully pull some people in so we have something to talk about in the chat.
Yeah, we hadn't had nobody chimed in last week.
Yeah, where's Pat been?
He's been slacking.
I know. Oh, is that he's down in Louisiana? Did they get hit with the hurricane?
Yep, they got hit with the hurricane. They got hit with the hurricane, and my God, dude, it's cutting across North Georgia, and it brought all that warm air from the Gulf. Man, I walked outside this morning. It felt like it was 80 degrees at 6:30.
And we've got like rain coming through here for like the last 2 weeks, and of course, with my actual friends on Facebook, not just people that jump on the boomer train. Half the women are like, oh, I love this time of year, pumpkin spice everything, and the other half is, summer's over. I hope you jerks that love pumpkin spice coffee are happy now. I'm like, damn skippy I am, but there was like a bag of it on sale at Dunkin' Donuts. Pumpkin spice was on sale at the market the other week for like $6 for $6.70 for a bag, and it was like the last one there, so Tom grabbed it for me, and now I'm back to my normal Boston's best coffee at Ocean State Job Lot. It's regular price, $5 a bag. I go through like 2 bags a week, but still it's good.
Yeah. So I can't remember, man. So here's this beautiful. This is a classic cover. If anybody has never seen Superman 199, and this is, like I said, first Flash Superman race. This is that's what I was fixing to talk. I could not remember if this. You can look it up right quick. But who wrote this one and who did the art? Because
it's not listed.
DC in the 60s didn't give a crap, and they didn't list people. We actually have to go look them up.
I hate to tell you, they still don't give a crap.
Well,
but now it's in the contracts. So
yeah, well, I think this was. I'm pretty sure this is probably Kurt Swan, isn't it?
Oh, it looks like Kurt Swan.
Yeah,
for sure.
And who was the other guy that drew Superman for so long? Kurt Swan. I'll say Mort something, but I can't remember. I maybe thinking of somebody else.
Oh, that's right. 'Cause I looked this up last week. Derp. Superman Volume 1, Issue 199. Superman's Race with the Flash. Written by Jim Troubleshooter.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's Jim Shooter.
Pencils, Kurt Swan. Inks was George Klein and Mort Weisinger and E. Nelson Bradell were the editors.
Okay. Damn, I couldn't remember that. So Shooter actually wrote this one. I think, yeah, I remember that now. We did talk about that because Shooter started in comics at like 14 or something. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, it was like insane.
And if I remember that because I read that other book, the Marvel History. I've talked about it before, and in there he talks about he was at a doctor's office, and there's a bunch of comic books, and he read some of them, and he saw that he read some DCs, and they were like all nice and pretty, looked like they'd never been read, and then there was a stack of Marvel books, and they looked like crap. So he read those, and he was like, "Whoa, the Marvel books are a bunch better." And he tried to get a job at Marvel, but they wouldn't give him a job. So he went over to DC, and they gave him a job.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, he goes to be editor-in-chief at the Marvel.
At the Marvel.
Yep, at the Marvel. So our story opens with the crime syndicates, and they're planning. There's a race between Superman and the Flash. And they're covering each other's bets, and they're going to make sure that the other Superman or Flash loses so that the other one wins and gets all their money. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a crazy way to start a book, but it works for this one.
Yeah, it just, you know, I mean, I couldn't help but laugh because, you know, the language in this is just, you know, because it's so old, it's just ridiculous.
It's kooky, yeah. I mean, it's a great story. The art's really good. Swan, you know, is probably the classic Superman artist, and it's just, you know, but the language is so kooky. We even get a holy, you know, from Robin later on in a few pages. Mm-hmm. And I was like, really? And the scheme is so outlandish. You know, they're going to dress people up as Superman and the Flash and put little rocket boots on their feet so they can run really fast. You know, how the hell is his legs going to turn fast enough so he can run? But we just don't think of that kind of stuff as kids.
Yeah, I know.
Like a placement of the symbol on his chest. It's just kind of crazy. Oh, what did you think of we get in here and later on when they're talking about the money that they bet, it's like $1 billion.
Oh yeah, it's like insane. They're both betting. It's basically like the two biggest mobs in the world betting against each other, and I'm like, have you guys ever won when you went up against either of these guys? No. What makes you think you're going to win
now?
And I mean, they're all out with like stopwatches. I mean, these guys were serious statisticians, let me tell you.
Yeah.
They're like timing the Flash and, you know, making excuses. He wasn't even up to full speed yet. Oh yeah, he's got this.
Yeah. And here, so we open with our scheme, and then they said, go back to the Flash, and then it's, one day in Metropolis. Yeah, here they are. They're timing it, and what is it? He beats them 3/5 of a second. Does the damn stopwatch even go that fast? I mean, what's the damn, you know, the little ticks on a stopwatch?
It was in the script.
It's in the script. And then, you're right. He's like, oh, that's not bad. There's the Flash as he flies by these dudes and knocks them all out. And it's 1.5 seconds. but he wasn't at top speed.
What was great about this issue too is the art in this issue looks just like the old 60s DC cartoons.
Yeah, I mean that's where it comes from. Or that's where the '60s DC cartoons come from. They come straight from here. What is it? Was it?
Mhm.
It's not Challenge of the Super Friends. It's just Super Friends, isn't it?
It's not. No, it's not even. It's not even Super Friends. It's
What is it?
the old like 50s, 60s cartoons. It was just like mini episodes, and they had Superman, Batman, but they're like the older ones. They had Hawkman had like a few episodes.
Aquaman had a few episodes.
No, that's the Filmation one.
That's the Filmation one, okay?
Yeah. They had some Teen Titans ones, and Green Lantern had some. These are like old ones. I think you might be able to find them on YouTube. I used to have a folder on my old computer with them in it.
Huh. I'll have to look those up because I know I've got the Challenge of Super Friends, I've got the Super Friends, and I've got another disc, but it's got Aquaman in it, so they must be after the ones you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because he keeps telling Aqualad, keeps calling him damn tadpole.
Yep. They are from 1967.
Holy crap. Same year as this. So that's exactly why this looks like the cartoon.
Yeah, because it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, look out now because I'm going off script. I'm going off script.
You're going to get some cartoons.
I'm going off script. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say, blow it up. I can't see.
There we go.
It says Filmation #2.
Here come the Teen Titans, a quartet of towering talent. Kid Flash, whose speed defies the eye to follow. Wonder Girl, swift and powerful super lad. Speedy, whose fantastic arrows perform awesome feats. Aqualad, bold and daring marine marvel. Fabulous foursome for right against might. The Teen Titans. An alien spaceship, yawing and pitching as it obviously fights to remain aloft, breaks into Earth's atmosphere. Jettison all unessential equipment.
Oh my God, look at that poor guy.
Captain, they may kill, destroy. We must lose weight to gain altitude. Now as the spacecraft rises up to the clouds, a cage loaded with weird wild beasts crashes to Earth, releasing a dangerous and deadly menace to the countryside. Within minutes, the Teen Titans are in action.
Where are the others, Speedy? Heading for the big roundup, Aqualad. Wonder Girl streaking through the wild blue, and Kid Flash zipping over hill and dale. Okay, hold on, Speedy-O. We've got to get to where the action is. Check.
Meanwhile, the terrified inhabitants of a small country.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Hill and Dale, man. He's racing over Hill and Dale.
Get over to Hill and Dale. Dale.
Yeah, you could really tell where they pull. I mean, everybody has that same square jaw lantern and all that, but that's so
Yeah,
DC.
I found that I'm in a quick search. They had that Teen Titans one. They had a Green Lantern one and like one other one.
Oh, dude, we got to talk about superpowers when we get to it. When we read this issue later on, what the hell? Green Lantern can't do that. You remember his crazy powers in this issue later on?
Oh yeah.
What the hell? So, all right. So while the mob is out here clocking everybody at 1.5 seconds and 3/5 of a second and all this, we find out that the Flash and Superman are going to have the greatest race of all time, and it's on the June 10th, Saturday, June 10th, by the way. And then we find out why, because the president of the UN calls them, or the Secretary General of the UN, not the president, Secretary General of the UN calls them to help raise money for developing underdeveloped countries. I thought this was kind of cool, and I can see the superheroes doing this, especially during this time. Today's superheroes would have never been bothered with it. They would have been like, no, you need to, start a Kickstarter or some crap.
No, it would have been like,
it's a GoFundMe.
What's the guy's name from The Boys?
Homelander.
Homelander would have been like, yeah, I'll go help him out. I'll be right back. 3 weeks later, millions killed in a freak meteor shower.
Well, they don't have an overpopulation problem anymore.
Well, you don't have to worry about it now, do you?
Damn it. But yeah, so they've been called by the Secretary General of the UN. He says you need development funds for underage developed countries, poverty-stricken lands, worldwide sweepstakes based on a race between you could solve our problem. And I don't remember this in any Superman comics I've read before this, but it happened. So we find out that Superman built a dam in China to save them from the monsoon flood. And Flash had this thing where he plays ping pong with himself. And the guy's like, well, a race won't take long, it'll only be like 5 minutes. And he raised all this money.
Mm-hmm.
But, here's another one we talk about crazy powers. Both of you can travel even faster than light. No ordinary race course would suffice. Really? They can both travel faster than light?
Well, Flash can, but yeah, they're both like super speed. Like Flash is not yet were they in the Speed Force.
Yeah.
Because I get the issue like 100 some issues later. It wasn't until they broke the barrier between like Earth 1 and Earth 2 when the first time that Barry met Jay Garrick.
Yeah, and that's
when they find out about the Speed Force.
No,
not that one, but like a somewhat later issue. I don't know where it is right now. Otherwise,
but faster than light, I was like, holy crap! Okay, now I don't remember them traveling faster than light. I knew they were super fast. I knew Flash could go faster than light because of the Speed Force, but I didn't think Superman was that fast. I was like, I couldn't remember it anyway. But it's like, holy crap! It's little stuff like this as you read it later just really sticks out. It was like, man, they can really move.
My butt can go faster as light, but not until after I eat a couple of, gas station burritos.
Yeah, Taco Bell,
huh? No, gas station burritos.
Gas station burritos? Damn it.
Those big ones that they call the bomb. It's like, 3 pounds of burrito. And I'd be like, oh, these things look good. I'd be all drunk and like buy 3 of them and eat them all in like 5 minutes. Wake up the next morning. I'm like, oh. And now back to the program.
Exactly. Away from your colon cleansing.
Plus, fizz, whatever it is.
So they go back. They're going to do a race around the world, but there's going to be 3 separate tracks that like crisscross each other. Mm-hmm. And they've got to run over the damn mountains, and they've got all this crap built out. Like, okay, so all these, obstacles and everything else. I'm like, okay. He says, and the guy says it would take them less than a second. I mean, maybe. It was just funny. It was like, wow.
Remember, this is when only kids read these things.
I know. And then now now true believers or readers, whatever you want to say, we get to understand why Superman is a reporter, because he gets assigned to cover the damn race.
Mm-hmm.
Perry White's going to send him. Okay.
Thanks, Perry. I'll get the scoop.
Yeah, I'll get the scoop. No problem. Now, this is kind of freaky.
Iris doesn't know that Barry's the Flash yet.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, death do us part, no secrets, no nothing else. I mean, so maybe he does slow down in bed. I don't know. Maybe he's not the fastest man alive. But yeah, holy crap. How does his wife not know?
Iris is white? I would have never known from the CW.
She's not white on the CW?
Oh, no. She's hot, but she's not white.
See, I don't think I get the CW. I don't know why. I need to look and see if I do. I don't watch them anyway, but
you can get the app and you can watch them for free like 24 hours after they download. But the Swamp Thing is on CW now too.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
And Stargirl, you got to watch Stargirl. That was awesome.
Yeah, I've heard Stargirl's good.
There's a funny thing about what you said about. Well, I guess he's not the fastest man alive. Back in the 90s when John Wesley Shipp was the first Flash on TV.
Yeah.
He was in bed with Iris, and Iris, he's like, it's a cut scene and they're in bed together and everything, and she blurts out, "Wow, Barry, that was quicker than I thought." And Barry goes, "Yeah, I know, huh?" And he gets the clicker. They were watching like a Tyson fight or something, and he shuts the TV off.
My God. Well, I remember that from one of my favorite superhero cartoons is Justice League Unlimited, and you remember when the Flash is talking to the Flash is telling Wonder Woman how he's trying to get a date or whatever, and he says, I'm the Flash, the fastest man alive," and Wonder Woman tells him, "That's why you can't get a date." It's terrible. But I'm like, so his wife doesn't know he's the Flash at this time.
Not yet, no.
Not yet. So now we've got everybody planned on covering the thing. We go back to the UN and we find out that the UN has limited the number of tickets anybody can buy, so nobody loses a lot of money depending on whoever wins. Mm-hmm. And it's all the money for the seat stakes is going to a good cause anyway. Mm-hmm. So what do you do if you win? I mean, you go put some money down, buy a ticket, but you can only vote on the Flash or Superman. So are they going to pay everybody that wins like twice what the ticket cost? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how the sweepstakes works, but hey, look.
Yeah, it was probably like one of those 50-50 things.
Oh, okay.
Like you buy a ticket for $100 and you put it on Flash and Flash wins, then they'll give you $50 back and you donated the rest to charity.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
Who cares? It's not real.
I know, but look, hey, these are inquiring questions.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Exactly. That magazine doesn't even exist anymore.
You're gonna finish this, and you're gonna get online and track down Jim Shooter on Instagram. And it was back in Superman Volume 1, issue 199, the first race. How were the winnings divided?
Yeah, you can contact him on for Creators Outlet. We could ask him one day. So now we go, after all that split up, now we go to the back to our Ajax and the mob. And so one of these mobs is set in Europe and the other one is set in America. Mm-hmm. And they're betting against each other for $1 billion. Yeah, well, that seemed like a lot of money back then, but now it's not really a whole lot of money, No. Whoever loses is a one-way gamble to the poorhouse. Mm-hmm. And So this one team has got. He says we've got the greatest man to help us here. What's his name? Yeah, right here. So they're going to use this scientist to help them. Is Werner von Broder. He'll show us how we're going to pull the syndicate's greatest coup. And old dude says he's the greatest criminal mind next to Luther. They can't lose. So I'm like, all right. And then the European people who are the Americans are of course betting on Superman, and the Europeans for some reason are betting on Flash. They're going to collect £1 billion francs. They're doing it $1 billion, so we're going to assume the exchange rate's the same. And they've got a different criminal genius, Dr. Robert Carson, who's going to make sure that they win.
Mm-hmm. So the UN is setting up, roadblocks for them. The criminals are setting up, what they think are deadlier roadblocks for them, and
yep. And poor Superman and Flash know nothing.
Nope.
And then so they're going to show up to the Flash, the start of the race, and all of the Justice League comes out to be there. And they're all talking. It's like they know everybody.
Yeah, and Robin's going around collecting autographs.
Yeah. He's collecting autographs. So are the bystanders. I got they even got programs. The UN managed to print programs. I got my program autographed by both of them at super speed. What the hell's the program say? June 10th, Superman Flash race around the world. What's it got? The route rate in it? I don't know, but so
it would have had like the odds at the time of race, and what the charity, a big write up on what the charity was for, and it probably had like a nice glossy picture of Superman on one side and Flash on the other, or them standing there on one page back to back or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of funny. They all this for charity. They even got programs. Here's our and the thing is, the superheroes are even breaking up. Aquaman and Hawkman want the Flash to win. It looks like Batman and Robin are wishing for Superman to win, and Superman and the Flash are like, good luck to each of you. Here's our Holy from Robin, Holy Western Union. Yeah. Look at all the telegrams.
Yeah, and you got Adam is sitting there on Batman's shoulder.
Yeah, I didn't even see Adam until you pointed him out. Yep.
And you got old school Green Arrow behind them, all dressed up just like Robin Hood.
He's got the Robin Hood feather and everything in his hat. Yeah, this is classic. So there they go. They're going to go at the sound of the gun. They start the race and they start running. I don't understand. So Flash can run on top of the water, which we knew this. Mm-hmm. And Superman can't. But he's as fast as the Flash, pretty much. But he's got to swim. Mm-hmm. And it's like, but he could swim the water as fast as the Flash can run it.
Yeah, because he's swimming with his super strength.
Well, I know, but it just seems like it'd still be faster to run on top of the water.
Yeah, I know.
Fly. He can't fly. It's a race. That was one of the rules. Oh, mm-hmm. She didn't read the comic book. Yeah, one of the rules is they can't fly.
No, she didn't read the book because she was too busy, looking at My Little Ponies on TV.
She was watching My Little Pony?
Yeah.
No.
Speaking of which, did you see the box opening Gomer did? He bought himself the Optimus Prime My Little Pony.
Oh my God! Did he really buy it?
Yeah, he did, and he did an unboxing on OG, and I'm like, oh, what a brony! I go, send that to me. My daughter wants it.
I'm gonna have to check that out now. I missed that one. Here's the crazy power that we were talking about early for those that are following along. So Green Lantern uses his power ring to make a TV monitor so he can watch the race.
that's gonna follow them around the earth at super speed.
Yes. Yeah. I'm like, I don't remember his ring being able to do that. I understand it can make hammers and other stuff and protect him in space, and
It can show him things that have happened and all kinds of other stuff, but it's yeah. And folks, if you think this is kooky, wait till we get a little further in and see what happens with Green Lantern here. So
it keeps going. And that's what's wonderful about reading these old '60s books, especially DC, because like I said, they were written for a different audience. Marvel was shooting for an older audience. They were shooting for, I think, teens and later at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And DC is they're shooting for the 10-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
So they're racing all over. Just going through the water and all this. They plow through the damn sand dunes. Where I knew that Flash could do this, but I didn't think it'd come up in this series where he vibrates his body so fast he just phases through the freaking sand dunes.
Yeah, he vibrates the molecule. Superman just crashes through.
Yeah, because he can't do it. He's apparently not fast enough to vibrate his molecules, so he just blows through them.
Yeah, he can't vibrate. If he could vibrate, Lois would never let him leave home.
Is that what it is? Damn it. See, if we could have had Flash when right here where they get to Giza, they flash right through Giza. He goes right through the dang Great Pyramid. Flash could have told us everything. Were there extra chambers there? Was it ancient aliens? Is there a spaceship? Something, but he didn't. He just kept flying.
He's trying to win a race.
He's trying to win a race. Except for when they hit this poor man's cart and knock all of his
figs
to the ground. Yeah, they knock all his figs over, topple his whole cart.
But they're going so fast that he can't see them, and they're putting themselves back in the cart, and he's just like, ah, and runs away.
Yeah. The market's haunted. By Allah, let's get out of here.
They keep going, and then they hit the frozen Alps, and Superman's fine, but you look back and Flash is like hugging himself. Like Creason's like, dude, he creates an aura around himself. He doesn't feel heat or cold.
Yeah. Flash is like freezing his butt off. And I don't want to be ugly, but how long you're as fast as y'all are moving? How long are you going to be in the Alps? Maybe you just need to speed up, buddy. Quit being cold.
Well, if he gets cold enough, it slows him down.
Yeah, I know. But that's funny. Nope, did we miss a page? Nope, okay. I do love reading through this, how not necessarily the narrator, but whoever's narrating the story, whatever, telling you what's going on, they just keep telling you. It's like they're just checking off every place they could think of that people would know.
Yeah, they're checking all the boxes. They go through India, through the lumber camps, and they knock all the trees down. So now they've made their quota for the next day, thanks to the superheroes.
Yeah, they just knock all the trees down as they're blind by, and then they've got they do Allah. Now it's like, oh, by Buddha, here they come. They pass through the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Even later on, they go through the Outback, but I guess they don't have TV in the Outback. Yeah, faster than a speeding bullet, and the TV is still trying to follow them. Now, all this is supposed to take place in 5 minutes, is what they were saying, because they've made them slow down by having to go through the obstacles. But yet the TV's still following them. Mm-hmm. Now they're in South China Sea.
They're in the South China Sea, and apparently there's a hurricane.
Yeah, there's a hurricane in the South China Sea. And Superman, who just keeps swimming right through the waves while Flash runs on top, he can't keep his balance anymore. And Superman sees he's in trouble, but he doesn't want to help Flash because then Flash would think that he like helped him, and
Yeah,
he may
but
not do
it's
it.
because he was navigating the rough, choppy seas, but
Yeah.
he missed like that one wave that somehow came up and whacked him in the back.
Yep.
So Superman falls back here a little bit, and then he just blows the Flash.
Yeah.
With super breath to push him forward. Not
with super breath. You need to
dirty
make sure
bastard.
you put that out. So Flash gets back up on his feet and they start running again.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, look, they're running. Now they're going through Hawaii. And look, Green Lantern's camera's still keeping up with them right there. Let's see. Look, they can see the whole race.
Well, and out of nowhere, a kryptonite meteor shoots out of an active volcano. What are the odds?
Exactly. In the Andes, in Colombia,
Mm-hmm.
in the Colombian Andes. So it weakens Superman, but the Flash is like, oh, I don't want to help Superman because then he'll be indebted to me. I'll pretend to help him by, vibrating it into the ground. And he'll think it's an earthquake.
Mm-hmm. And they keep running, and Superman's swimming, and
yeah, they have to jump across the freaking ribs.
Those people are living in huts, but somehow they have modern technology outside to watch the race.
No, I think he's just sitting there.
Not here. The page before.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So
what's it plugged into?
Damn it.
It's like they've got a monitor and a Betamax recorder underneath it.
Yeah, something big. Meanwhile, their straw huts are in the background. Yep.
Yeah.
Then they pass they go through the jungle here. There's some more people.
I hope the big bad wolf does not come and blow the house down again.
Yeah, because it's a damn straw house.
Yep.
But yeah, this is what I was telling you earlier. Well, they go through the Australian desert, and this Aboriginal guy who's just sitting on a rock, who obviously has no idea what the hell's going on. He just sees these two dudes run by, and Superman's like, "Hey, I wonder who he's rooting for." He probably doesn't even know what's going on. He's an Aboriginal dude. He's just sitting out there.
He doesn't look the question mark, the exclamation mark. He's wondering.
He doesn't know.
He thinks he's drunk or something because, where do these two clowns in their long underwear come streaking through the desert from?
Yeah, and they're gone. By the time he thinks that, they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone. They go down the waterfall and Superman's swimming, but Flash has got to do something to slow himself down so he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So now they race across the Pacific to Canada, and the Flash going across these lakes slips and slides and busts his noggin.
Yep.
But instead, Superman just keeping racing. He's like, I don't want to help him because then he'll feel indebted to me, and I hurt his pride. So all of a sudden, he changes into Clark Kent clothes. And he's like, oh, I'm Clark Kent. I'm a reporter. I'm covering the race through Canada by helicopter when I saw you fall. So I built this fire and all this crap, and I helped you up. And then the Flash takes off, and then Superman's like, hey, I got to return all these clothes I stole back to the hunting lodge.
No, he's just going to return the Parkers. I want to know where his Clark Kent costume came from. What orifice did you pull your clothes out of, Clark?
He returns the Parkers, and we're going to say his clothes. And then, seconds later, he catches up to the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, we know who's faster. Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got enough time to do all this and still catch up to the Flash. Oh, and they destroyed these icebergs in the Atlantic, so they won't hurt shipping anymore.
They won't sink any more ships. Titanic's gone, which is good because, man, I hated that movie.
Do you hate that movie?
It's not a love story. It's about a boat that sinks. Come on.
And it takes longer than the actual sinking of the vessel.
Mm-hmm.
So they go and they have to race over this railroad car that's going by, and they keep going. They go over the bridge, and these do all right. So now this is the third leg of the race, and here comes the mob. They're gonna finally put the stop on. So one mob puts out a big sheet of bulletproof glass in the middle of the damn road, and the other mob has kryptonite dust that they spray on the ground. Because we know that Superman and Flash are going to run on this side of the road, and they're going to come by.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, oh, here they come, and then boom. So there's the Flash. He hits the glass. He breaks the bulletproof glass, and Superman runs through the kryptonite dust and gets weak.
Mm-hmm.
And both guys who are doing this, they have to be doing it within, not far of each other, but neither one of the groups see each other. They kidnap the
Hey,
superheroes.
Quinn, how you doing? Yes, indeed. Every week, OK Boomer comes back with some old classic books.
Yeah, this one's a little older school than normal.
This one's older than me.
But yeah, so the mob drags both of them off, and they tie up the Flash. It's what, 52? No, it's 67.
1967. Couple years before I was born.
This is a really good book, though, William. It's kind of, it's a little corny and all, but it's a very fast read, especially for a Silver Age DC book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because these were meaty and long-winded.
Yeah, but even it was still a very fast read for me. I mean, I read it in just a little bit. Oh yeah, Kurt Swan is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, he's the best Superman artist.
Yes, yeah, the big barrel-chested Superman from Kurt Swan.
Mm-hmm.
So
and they tie up Flash with this heavy-duty corded stuff that's, if he pushes against it, it's just gonna be tighter.
Yep.
And they lock up Superman, and they keep somehow they've got containers full of Superman dust gas that they can just open up. Man, they must have talked to Luthor.
They had to borrow some from Luthor. And this is God, we'll have to do it in the one future issue. I've got that one as well, because I think it's 237. It's not far after this.
Yeah.
The Kryptonite No More issue.
Oh no! And here's the excuse from Green Lantern why you can't see him now that they've been caught. They've been caught by the mob. He's like, what?
Yeah. Apparently, the heat of Nevada, the desert formed a yellowish haze, and his ring can't see it.
Yep.
Really?
There you go. Connections with LexCorp.
Well, I don't know. I don't think LexCorp was around here, but they had to get it straight from Luthor's lab or something.
Yeah, it was just straight up Luthor back in the late 60s.
Yeah, it was just Luthor. But and here they're still touting we'll be $1 billion richer, man. But so Superman's still weak. But he's used this telescopic vision that reveals his American rivals have pulled the same stunt.
Mm-hmm.
and he uses his weakened heat vision to burn Flash's bonds, freeing the Flash, who quickly in super speed looks around at all the buildings and sees that Superman's been captured, and there's this kryptonite gas keeping him down. So he kicks it, and then Superman is free. So he beats up all those guys and leaves them for the police. And
Yeah,
the Flash
they beat him up and tie him up. However, both mobs have made Superman and Flash costumes, and the Superman one even has like a full head mask, and they put rocket boots on him so they could run not as fast as the Flash and Superman, but they would look like Flash and Superman so that they could put the fix on the race for sure.
Yep, they will make sure that they win their $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on. We got to go back because I missed it. So we're going to go back a few pages. He says, so here's Superman talking about his weakening heat vision. Then he's talking about his telescopic vision. All right, we're going to go back a few pages. Hold on. Here he is. Back at Saskatchewan, right here, before Clark Kent shows up, he uses his super balance that lets him just slide on the ice.
Yeah, you know what that's called? Flight.
What is it called?
I'm gonna float just slightly above the ice so he can't tell I'm cheating, and I'm not gonna fall.
Super balance. I was like, really?
I don't want to look like an ass. Let's see Flash. Come on.
Klutzy Flash. So the bad guys are now racing with their little rocket boots. Says, I don't get it. Why isn't Superman beating me? I'd better put the brakes on. So he slows down, and then the fake Superman slows down, and then they both realize that they're imposters. So they're like, you're a phony, you're a phony. Meanwhile, while they're arguing, the real Superman and Flash just blow by them.
And, spin them into, out coldness, basically.
Yeah, they pass out after this. They hit them so hard they pass out. And they're just tearing toward the finish line. But, unbeknownst to us, Superman and Flash have made an agreement to cross the finish line at the same time.
So nobody would win. So nobody would win the 50-50 raffle, and the UN would keep all their money. Wow, that sounds like something. That sounds like something that would happen in 2020.
Well, not only that, they do it so that the mob won't win.
Yeah, it is. It was really good.
What we were talking about earlier too is right here. Is at the end of it, after that, Green Lantern comes up to him. He says, "There's one thing that hasn't been cleared." So Superman asks him, "What's that?" He says, "Which of you's faster?" And then, you aren't meant the only ones curious. Check out our readers who want to see the terrific rematch coming soon in The Flash. And that's issue 175.
So first one is Superman 199. Second one is Flash 175.
Yeah, and there's a third race, and I have half of it, and it's in World's Finest, like 198 and 199.
It was such a long race that time that they had to divide it
into 2 issues. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
And that's the last time I know that they race actually in comic book continuity is in that World's Finest set.
Yeah, before they started playing retcon of the week with every comic book company on the planet. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and the whole thing, like I said, I was joking earlier about, so Clark Kent or Superman puts up his Clark Kent disguise, then manages to catch up with Flash, so obviously he's faster than Flash, but then that goes back, I can't remember who said it in one of the interviews. It's years ago I finished it. When they were asked, so who's faster, Superman or the Flash? He said, if Superman's faster than the Flash, then what good is the Flash? So the Flash has to be faster than Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But that's running. Flying, he's still faster.
Oh yeah. So cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah. Come back anytime.
Yep. William's got a book that is Anamorphic Animals in a retelling of 47 Ronin up on Kickstarter. It's called 47 Furious Tales.
47 Furious Tales.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal looking book.
Cool.
I interviewed him for Creators Outlet a few weeks back, and we get to sit down and have a talk. The artwork is incredible.
I have to check it out. I must have missed that one. But yeah,
well, it's tough to keep up. I do like 3 or 4 a week, right?
Yeah, exactly. I like anamorphic animal books. I did. I loved Unnatural, and I like Pogo and all that kind of stuff.
Speaking of which, we got to pick a book for next week.
I sent you a list.
Yeah. So on the queue of the anamorphic animals, let's do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, Volume 1.
Oh, that was on my list. So
I know.
We finally do the Turtles, huh?
Yep. Because I've never read this, because I looked at the book when it was on the stand. I go, what's this stupid thing? And then I saw Fish Police and then Radioactive Black Belt Hamsters. I'm like, oh, the hell! Can't they just all leave Cerebus alone?
Dude, I have a few early issues of TMT or TMNT, but I have never read the first issue. And forget buying a copy of the first issue, because it's for most people. Mm-hmm. Even up to, what is it, like the 4th printing? Even the 4th printing is stupid expensive. I do have
one of the shops online that I attend their online sales. JJ over at Jesse J's Comics in Arizona from the Comic Book Shopping Network. He had a 3rd print of #3, and it lasted on the show for all of literally 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a great copy. It still blew out for $500.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the whole thing. It was by the original run of TMNT was by Mirage Studios, right?
Yep. That old Mirage Studio is about 45 minutes from my house.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, see, you're up in the neck of the country where there were some great comics. One of my favorite comics of all time actually come from your neck of the country, and it's an independent book.
The Tick?
The Tick. I absolutely love The Tick. I have a handful of books signed by Edlund. I have got most of a first printing run. I look for them all the time. I've even got an ash can of The Tick. An ash can by Edlund that has some ads for The Tick in it or something. And I don't know where it come from, but it's got there's a Yogi the Bear story in there. I don't know if you've ever read it, where it's Yogi the Bear. You don't realize that at the end, but it's set in an apocalyptic future where Yogi the Bear and Boo Boo are on a damn boat that has helium balloons in it, and it's flying over the woods, and they're looking for land and places to go and not people to eat, but places to go and stuff to eat to get away from the nuclear destruction or fallout or whatever. And they've got the body of the ranger on a cross or something. He's their religious god or something, and they're like, oh, it's weird, but it's incredible. I will dig it out and I'll see if I can find it and get it to you.
Yeah,
But
that's what I met a bunch of guys from New England Comics last year when I was covering the convention.
yeah, last year when um, I went to Boston, I went to one of the New England comic shops, and it was the closest one to uh, Fenway Park,
Oh
which
yeah,
it was still a couple miles away. And I went there just for Tick stuff, and the guy said, "Oh no, all the Tick stuff is at the other shop." And I'm like, "Really? I'm in town for 3 days."
and I would have gone, if I didn't have family members with me slowing me down
Yeah,
on comic book hunts.
but yeah, I this kind of stuff is cool. But yeah, we'll do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've got another one. Like I said, we talking about animal perfect animals. Um, I love Cerebus too, and Cerebus is in like the 7th issue of TMNT, uh, and it's a good story. But he's in there fighting with them and somebody else. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I read it. But then that's the thing.
My favorite Spawn cover is the one with Cerebus on it.
Yep, that's issue. Was it 10?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the one that if you read the story where Cerebus is showing. That's where, what is it? McFarlane was talking about actually selling Spawn back to DC or Marvel or something, and Dave Sim talked him to not doing it because it shows all the other superheroes like locked in prison because he lost the rights to his character or something.
It was just a great cover because it was like the color coming down the cover and it stops just above Cerebus and.
Yeah, it's black and white from there down.
Yeah, like what the hell? I remember reading Cerebus and Concrete, and that was
now Concrete's not really an anthropomorphic animal. Concrete is that he's just stuck in that big concrete-looking snowman body.
Yeah, it's called Concrete because he's concrete.
Yeah. They don't do Concrete anymore either. I can't remember the last time I saw an issue.
Oh no, it hasn't been around for years. What else was around then? Oh, Boris the Bear.
I don't remember no Boris the Bear now.
You don't remember Boris the Bear? Oh, that was funny.
No, I don't remember Boris the Bear. I do not.
Spoon.
Yeah, that's our Tick. So how do you rate this one though?
Well, I'm not going to rate it on condition, that's for sure.
It's about a 2.5.
It's more like a 1. If you look at the cover, it's more like a 1.5.
Yeah, maybe not even that.
Yeah,
that big ass tear right there.
Oh, the tear? Yeah. Oh.
And it goes all the way through.
0.05. But the book itself, the story for the time, Jim Shooter was like, I don't know, 12 years old and writing stories for DC. And Kurt Swan art, I mean, it's just classic. I give this a 4.0. I mean, great art, good story. It's a fluff piece, but it's a good fluff piece, and it's like it's a fundraiser that wasn't real, but it's still a fundraiser. A bunch of cool stuff happened in it. It's 60 vibes on every panel, literally.
Yeah, and it's a 4.0 out of 5. People, we're not talking a 4 out of 10 here.
Yeah, no, we don't do 10.
Yeah,
we're old.
Yeah, this is a. I'll go with you a 4 out of 5. This is a great book.
Yeah, we do everything out of 5 stars. Yeah, it's awesome. It's at the end of the day when you finish reading this book, you just in a good happy mood because this it was so good.
Well, not only that, like I said, there's so much lighter than everything else that Marvel and them were putting out at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a great book. Yeah, we definitely need to come back and do some. We need to do a real old school Batman issue in the near future too. Something crazy old. We'll have to dig something up.
Oh, I'm sure I can come up with something.
Yeah. Because now we've done a really old Superman.
And now we're going to do the first Turtles.
First Turtles, yeah. But, all right. Well, what else we got?
I think that's it. If you can go back and I showed like a small snippet of that old 1967 DC cartoons. You can find a bunch of those. They're free to watch on YouTube. And if conventions ever come back, you go to one of the video booths, and I'm sure one of those guys will have all of the early 60s DC cartoons, like all on one disc, for sale. I don't think Warner Brothers has actually released those.
I don't know. I'll have to look. I've got a bunch of those old cartoons, but I'm not sure which ones I've got. I've been collecting them over the years. Some of them I haven't even watched, but I've just been buying them as I see them.
Oh, but, yeah. This was good. Once again, we want to give a big shout out to our sponsor for this video, SpinWiz Comics at spinwizcomics.com. Your one-stop shop for discovering web and indie comics on a free downloadable app, both on iOS and Android, where you can read free comics. That's right, I said free. You can go there now, download the app, give them a nice 5-star review, and here's like a quick peek of what it's going to look like on your smart device. And that's all I get to say about that.
Yeah. The only thing we're going to look at before we leave, because I just remembered it. Maybe you can tell me. I remember I was told one time, read somewhere that during this time period, DC actually had Swan go in and redraw Superman when he made appearances in other comics.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
because they wanted them all to look. They wanted them all to look the same.
Yeah, I remembered it now. Yeah, that they actually I can't remember where I read it, but they brought him in to redraw Superman, just Superman. They didn't redraw anybody else, but just Superman in other comics at this time period, so they would all look the same.
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
Yep.
It's like people that say, "Oh, they don't all look alike." Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That's why there's plenty of books out there for people that want to get into comics. There's always been books around ever since I was a kid too. They used to have the Marvel and DC tryout books where you could buy the tryout book and then you could kind of make a comic. You could show them like your pencils, your inks, colors, writing skills, everything, and send it in. And there's also books that are draw the Marvel way, draw the DC way.
Yep. Draw the Marvel way is by or How to Draw the Marvel Way is by John Buscema.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't remember who did the DC one though.
No, I know. A friend of mine, Randall, down in Florida, has the DC one because he's a big
Really?
Superman. He's a big Superman fan. But I fault him because his favorite Superman comic of all time is the stupid blue Superman.
You talking about the blue and red Superman?
Yeah, but just the blue one on the cover where he turned like electric blue and it was like glow in the dark and everything. That's his favorite comic. Like if he goes on vacation and goes to comic stores while he's on vacation, he looks if they've got that Superman 123. He buys.
I gotta ask you a question. Don't call him and be offended or anything. Did he bump his head?
Nope.
It's just his favorite Superman.
Well, because I guess he got out of comics, and then on a whim he picked up an issue of Wizard magazine, and that was the cover, and it attracted to him, and he read the article on it and everything, and he got back into it. He at one point had owned his own comic shop, and then it got sold to a friend of his because he couldn't do it anymore. But
while we're still going though, for anybody that is watching, let's hope they know what red and blue Superman is. That's in the 90s when they decided to change Superman's powers, so they made him electric, and they split him in like two.
It's electric.
Yep.
So yeah, that was I refer to that as the most retarded thing that DC has ever done.
Holy crap.
At that point.
Yeah, now we've got plenty of things to look back on, like Jim Gordon being Batman, among other things.
Yeah, Jim Gordon being Batman. The worst thing that has happened is DC's new distributor pulling the crap that they're pulling on comic shops.
Oh yeah, we're talking about the $500 minimum orders.
$500 minimum order a month, and that goes into effect as soon as no current DC comics are made for 2 months. It's all two-parter, for Marvel fans, what if stories, or DC fans, Elseworld stories. And they're putting out books that have been canceled, but so they've got 75 titles or something stupid, and so they're going to penalize the store. And if the store doesn't, if the store drops its orders for the 2 months that's going on, they won't let them back in.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that part.
I'm like, wow, I thought you were trying to be better than Diamond. I didn't know anybody that was striving to be worse than Diamond.
Well, I know there's one shop that's within 60 miles of me that is a little bitty shop. I'm not going to name it, and they don't sell a whole lot of new comics. I was there one day. They got their order from Diamond, and I order more than they do for that shop. They were getting like 2 copies of Batman, 1 copy of this. They may have got 20 brand new books.
Well, if they're, if they don't have, the clientele for it,
they can't do it.
Pretty much every shop has to order based on like the reserve / subscription list. And if nobody's signing up for stuff, you can't count on these people coming in like every week. Even if some
now.
Yeah. Even if you got somebody that's coming in like every week for like 3 months, and they want, say, Batman, and there's never a copy on the shelf, and you always back order it for them, and it takes like a couple of more weeks for them to get the order through.
Yeah.
And that's and they get it. That's all well and fine. So then you even though they refuse to sign up for a subscription, you up your order by like 3 extra copies of Batman, and all of a sudden this guy disappears because he discovered discount comic book service, so he doesn't have to drive to the comic shop, and now you have to eat like 2 or 3 months of extra issues of Batman that you now can't sell because nobody that comes in buys new books off you.
Buys Batman. Yep.
So what do they sell? Just back issues?
No, they sell mostly trades and figurines and gaming stuff. Honestly,
So it's not okay. Right from what you said, it's not a comic shop. It's not a new comic shop. They carry comics, but that is not the bulk of their business. The bulk of their business is games and the other stuff. So it's a gaming shop that carries some comics.
Maybe, yeah. I don't go for games. I go for comics.
That's how I would look at that. It's a game shop that carries some comics.
Yeah.
So they've got like a small, because I remember I saw the pictures when you first took them when they first opened up. So they got like a couple of small. They built a couple of like small things where they have like 4 or 5 long boxes going across with back issues, and they got a wire rack where they can put new issues, and everything else is pops and games.
Pops and games. Pops are everywhere.
But
Pops are everywhere.
I don't get the whole game thing, and I don't know how they're staying open then, because I mean, with all the I don't know how it is down there, but all the new rules is like, oh well, nobody can be 6 feet of each other, so all the game stores up here with the new regulations, I don't know how they're staying aloft, because a good majority of their business was just all these kids hanging out playing Magic, and people would go back and forth. They'd buy a pack here, they'd buy a pack there, they'd buy sleeves, dice,
everything you need. Yep.
And then they sell like snacks and sodas and stuff, which is where they make most of their money. Because they'll go to like Costco, a Costco style place, and buy a case of Coke for like $6, and
and they sell them for $1 a piece,
and sell them for $1 a piece, and the same thing. The 35-cent chip bags, they'll buy like one of the big giant bundles of those, and sell those for $1 a piece. So after like $10, they've made all their money back.
Yep.
And but the store would be packed, and they would make their money because there were game nights like 7 nights a week. You'd have like a couple of nights of Magic. You'd have a few nights of like RPGs. You'd have like one night would be dedicated to Star Wars X-Wing. Another one would be dedicated to Warhammer 40K, and what have you. They'd hold like special paint events for the miniature people, and and now they can't do that because nobody's allowed to hang out at the store. You can go in, buy stuff, and leave. That's it.
Yeah. It's affecting everything. I'll be, hopefully everything will be back to normal next year. We get to go back to some cons.
Because it's crazy too, because there's a lot of cool like new D&D books coming out, and other like RPGs, like there's a new Aliens RPG game that just came out, and it's like super popular, and you could just have your friends over at your house and play, but you want to hang out at the store in case there's something you want to buy for the game, or
yeah, it's right there.
Check, and and they're like right next to they're in a plaza now There's like a McDonald's, but who wants to eat that garbage? These kids would. But there's like a Chinese restaurant right next door. I think they were getting ready to close up though, because of COVID. But they had like there was like 2 or 3 restaurants in the plaza, plus there was a supermarket in there, but the supermarket went out of business because it's like a small area.
Yeah.
So most everybody would rather drive like an hour away to save more money than if you're like in a nice money enriched area. The prices for everything are like more expensive. So.
Oh, dang it.
But either way, we'll be back next week with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a Half Clan.
Number 1.
Issue number 1 next week.
Yep.
Right here on OK Boomer. Until next week.
Bye, y'all.
We'll see you later. Peace, love.